Welcome to another installment of Johnny Talks Football. Today, I have a lot to talk about today because we had a chaotic week in college football this past Saturday. We had upsets, near upsets, teams with statement victories, some people padding their Heisman stats, and we got some good Week 4 picks this week. So let's get started with the upsets. Alabama goes down at home to Ole Miss. 5 turnovers in that game for Alabama. I've never really seen an Alabama team play that sloppy, especially an Alabama team that's coached under Nick Saban. For Alabama to make it to the playoff, they have to win out and probably hope for Ole Miss to lose twice, which is going to be difficult for both things to happen. Especially if Alabama plays the way they did on Saturday. It's going to be a long season for Alabama heading down the road. Next, we have USC losing in the Coliseum to Stanford. Now, I know that Stanford-USC has some good games, but I kind of thought USC was going to be able to handle this one. Anyway, I think they're out of the college football playoff pretty much. I think they had to go undefeated, and since they didn't, I think USC's out of it. We had near upsets too. We had the number 1 Ohio State Buckeyes almost losing at home to Northern Illinois. The defense won the game, but not the offense. So Ohio State has to come out this upcoming week and just go all out on offense. We had UCLA almost lose to BYU. Now BYU is a good football team. They've come up lucky in the first 2 weeks. Because UCLA did not really lead in that game until about the last 5 minutes. Anyway, for the second week in a row, Missouri almost lost to an unranked opponent. Last week they were in a dogfight, and this week they were in a dogfight with Connecticut. They didn't have the game wrapped up until the last 40 seconds. It was just almost a subpar game for Missouri. Teams with some statement wins this week. Well, let's start with Ole Miss, pulling off probably the upset of the season so far. I mean, Chad Kelly made all the plays for Ole Miss. They capitalized on the turnovers. Yeah, Ole Miss deserved to win that one because their defense forced 5 turnovers. LSU had a statement victory over Auburn. Leonard Fournette had another great game this week. Notre Dame had a good win this week too. And if you saw my last video, I thought Georgia Tech was going to beat Notre Dame. But the fact that Notre Dame won, that deserves a statement victory from me. As far as the Heisman race is concerned, I still think Leonard Fournette is the front runner because he had a career high against Auburn. And I think Nick Chubb is second. Let's actually add in maybe Baker Mayfield and Chad Kelly to that list. And Connor Cook can stay there, but I right now think it's a 5-man race between those guys right now. Anyway, let's get to our Week 4 picks. We do have some beautiful matchups again this week, but I think we may end up being disappointed with how these turn out. Anyway, let's start off with Georgia Tech and Duke. I like Georgia Tech to recover in this. Let's see, BYU, Michigan, I'll take Michigan, it's in the big house. USC and Arizona State, I'll take USC to recover. I'll pick UCLA over Arizona. I'll pick Oregon to beat Utah in Eugene. I actually like Oklahoma State to beat Texas too this week. TCU, Texas Tech. I think TCU will win this one, but Texas Tech may make it a dogfight. Mississippi State, Auburn. I'll take Mississippi State to win this one. Anyway, that was your video for this week. I'll be back on Wednesday with the NFL recap.